let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
Well, they've won 11 games, and they're 10-0 in games decided by a score. The Vikings. Their defense stinks, but Kirk Cousins leads the NFL with 7 fourth-quarter comebacks. There is value in playing well late. There is value in coming from behind and value in winning close games. 11-3 in the National Football League. You are a good football team. They do not have the defensive ability to blow people out. They got to win shootouts. But the Vikings are at 10.
Number 9.
I think the Lions are a real deal here. 3-game winning streak. And what I'm really noticing, Jared Goff, 6 straight games without a pick. Nobody's getting to him. When Jared Goff is comfortable, he's a top 10, 12 quarterback in this league. Goff has not taken a sack in back-to-back games. Okay, the Jets couldn't get to him. This offensive line and these weapons are the real deal. They can win low scoring. They can win a shootout. I would take them today against the Vikings if they met again. Detroit at 9.
Number 8.
I love the Jaguars. I don't think Dallas played poorly. This is a real team. Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in the league since week 9. Now, they lost Cam Robinson, the left tackle, or I'd probably have them a spot higher. That's a big deal. His backside now, they didn't have a great offense to begin with. They can't lose their best offensive lineman. But this kid's the real deal. Since week 9, 70% completion percentage. Not always, by the way, with great protection. Jags at 8.
Number 7.
Dallas would beat him if they played again neutral field, in my opinion. 3 of the 4 losses by the Cowboys have come on the road this year. The Green Bay one's close. This is close. 10 straight games rushing for over 125 yards. I think that's the story. I think they found their run game. Boy, could Buffalo use this run game. Now, Dak is throwing more interceptions. Well, some would argue this offensive line's a work in progress. And after C.D. Lamb, who's a very good receiver, a clear number 1, they don't have a ton on the perimeter. But I think Dallas is just outside of the Super Bowl bubble. I have them at 7.
Number 6.
Buy Miami Dolphins stock. They outplayed Buffalo in lousy weather. This is a good team. They're not a Super Bowl winning team, but like Dallas, they can beat anybody, especially at home. Their defense isn't great, but it's been banged up for a good chunk of the year. Tua's got his limitations. Okay, against good defenses, he completes under 60% of his throws. That's why I compared him to Tebow. He is great with a defense in a run game. But at home this weekend against the Packers so-so defense, he'll light it up. Miami, do not sell your stock. They're going to make the playoffs. I have them at 6.
Number 5.
The Bills. Now, the Bills are better, but they were out-schemed and for a big chunks of that game, outplayed at home in bad weather. That should have – come on. Miami going up in a blizzard? That thing should be over at half. 3 losses have come by a combined 8 points. What concerns me is they're not always good situationally, and they're highly dependent on Josh Allen to save the day. It's got a Chargers feel to it. Allen's the second quarterback in league history with 50-plus wins and 130 touchdown passes over his first 5 seasons. That's the good news. The bad news is the other guy's Patrick Mahomes, who was ahead of him.
Number 4.
The Niners. I mean, does it even matter who plays quarterback? They have 8 wins by over 10 points, most in the NFL. Number 1 scoring defense. And by the way, since they lost to the Chiefs, they're 7-0. It doesn't matter who plays quarterback. They are the most talented team in the league. They have Pro Bowlers in every single unit. D-line, O-line, running back with McCaffrey, receiver, tight end, safety, linebacker. They may have 2 and corner. They're just really good. You don't have to love them at quarterback. Anybody notice the record of teams the week after they play San Francisco? Watch how beat up they are. They literally beat you up physically, and teams the following week struggle to cover and win.
Number 3.
The Chiefs. Here's what worries me. Opposing quarterbacks this year, and there's been a lot of dogs, have a passer rating over 99 against the Chiefs. Why does that worry me? Because they may face Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Or in the first round, who knows, they could face the Chargers and Justin Herbert. We know Mahomes is unbelievable. There's an argument to be made. He's underrated. I mean, what did he complete? 19, 20 straight throws against an NFL team Sunday? It's insane how good he is. He is separated from the world. Only Burrow's situational greatness is in his class.
Number 2.
The Eagles, O-line, D-line, it's amazing. Now, Jalen Hurts is out. That's why I take him out of the number 1 spot. And I do think sometimes they're reliant on Jalen Hurts' feet more than his arm. That concerns me. Their defense, though, the NFL best pass defense, best yards per play defense. They're a handful, man. It's just hard to move the ball. It was shocking for many that Chicago even stayed close with extra prep and a good coaching staff. Philly at 2.
Number 1.
I think Cincinnati's the best team in the league. I've been on this for 7 weeks. Situationally, best team in football. 6-game winning streak. Burrow now has time to throw. He's completing 70% of his throws. I don't see a lot of weaknesses here. They were totally flat against Tampa on the road, a decent team, and came roaring back. They have 2 running backs, 3 receivers, tight end. Now Burrow's getting protection. Defense doesn't have stars, but usually schemes brilliantly at half and shuts you down. Cincinnati, by a nose, best team in the league. J-Mac, what's your big argument?
Well, very bold of you to put the Bengals 1, but listen, they're playing lights out. Can you get the Vikings out of there? Their negative point differential, I think huge whiff missing on the LA Chargers, whose defense is surging without Derwin James and Bosa, who are both expected back. Offensive line getting healthy. You talk about buy Dolphins stock, you should be loading up on Chargers stock. Big time.
You trust the Chargers.
You trust them?
I've been a fan a lot longer than you, and I've been burned my whole life. They're the Atlanta Falcons with better weather. That's what they are. They burned me my whole life. I mean, seriously, they've been in 2 Super Bowls.
Who's the greatest quarterback in Falcons history? Justin Herbert's better than any guy you can name from the Falcons ever.
Yeah. Steve Bartkowski.
Get out of town. I thought you were going to say the guy that took him to the Super Bowl. Craig, number 12. Chris Chandler?
University of Washington. Proud alum.
Oh, that's why I mentioned him. Yeah.
All right. Nick Wright joining us live, host First Things First.
Wow.
I bet you're not.
Total drive-by on Matt Ryan there. I mean, Matt Ryan, took the Falcons to a Super Bowl somewhat recently, won a league MVP. I mean, I agree with J-Mac that the Chargers maybe should be on the graphic, but the Matt Ryan erasure, he's still playing, guys. I know he's playing terribly, but we can't erase his entire NFL career. Hi, Colin. How are you?
I'm good. For the record, I bet you are not. I bet you at least buy my Cincinnati argument. That Buffalo drives you crazy, but Cincinnati's a compelling one. Fair or not?
Well, of course it's fair. That's why they've been atop Nick's committee's tier for 3 weeks. I'm glad you're catching up, Colin. You usually don't this blatantly crib my work, my friend. I mean, yeah, Cincinnati, ever since beating the Chiefs, they are exactly what the national media has pretended Buffalo is all year. They are the team that actually beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. They are the team that has the second best quarterback in the league. They are the team that can look Kansas City in the eye in a postseason game and say, we're not scared. And they are the team with a super duper star at wide receiver and the best overall receiving core in the league. So yeah, I got no problem with that. I still, and maybe it's unfair, have some questions about their head coach, but now we're really parsing. And I do think the injury to Chidobe Awuzie, their star corner from a few weeks ago, could bite them at some point in the postseason. But we also, here's the other thing, I got to be honest with you, Colin. It's not only that I think the Bengals are excellent, I'm also, for the next few weeks, kind of a low-key Bengals fan, because I do need a little help from Cincinnati, because if they can beat the Buffalo Bills in 12 days, you know who skyrockets to the top of the AFC for the 5th straight Arrowhead Invitational? The Kansas City Chiefs back to the 1 seed. If the Bengals can just give the Bills one more loss. I thought the Dolphins were going to do it. They fell apart, so now we need the Bengals to do it.
For the record, I want to talk about that. I thought Miami's game plan was smarter. I thought they outplayed them. They got Miami got a little bit of a weather break. It wasn't bad. Everybody's selling their stock on Miami and Tua. And Jimmy.
Let me talk Dolphins then, Tua. I agree with almost everything you said about the game. I actually thought they could have run the ball more. I thought they were so effective running the football because Buffalo was so afraid of their team speed. They could have run the ball more.